In a world obsessed with instant results, we forget that greatness isn't built overnight. Success isn't about one big moment. It's about the small, silent choices you make every single day. Consistency is the foundation of mastery, because it is the one force that transforms potential into performance. Every great achievement, every skill mastered, and every dream fulfilled is the result of countless small steps taken with discipline and persistence. People often look at success as a single moment. The victory, the recognition, the breakthrough. But what they don't see are the endless repetitions, the unseen hours, the quiet work that builds excellence. Consistency is not glamorous. It is not exciting. It's repetitive, demanding, and often uncomfortable. But it's in that repetition where growth happens. It's where average becomes extraordinary and ordinary effort becomes legendary achievement. When you commit to being consistent, you stop relying on emotion and start relying on principle. You no longer act only when you feel like it. You act because you've decided that this is who you are and what you do. The truth is, talent may get you noticed, but consistency keeps you relevant. Many people start strong, full of motivation and energy, but fade when progress slows or obstacles appear. The masters, however, keep showing up. They understand that true progress is built in the moments when nothing seems to be working. The writer writes even when the inspiration is gone. The athlete trains even when no one is cheering. The student studies even when results are not immediate. That is what separates mastery from mediocrity. The commitment to continue not when it's easy, but when it's hard. Consistency builds confidence. Every time you keep your promise to yourself, you reinforce trust in your own ability. You begin to see that results may not come instantly, but they always come eventually. The habit of consistency teaches patience, and patience is a rare strength. In a world of shortcuts and instant gratification, being consistent makes you stand out. It gives you endurance when others quit. The greatest performers don't rise to their level of motivation. They rise to their level of discipline. They understand that progress is not about intensity, it's about frequency. It's about showing up daily, improving slightly, and allowing small victories to compound into greatness. The most powerful thing about consistency is that it turns effort into identity. When you do something long enough, it becomes part of who you are. You're no longer trying to be a disciplined person. You are disciplined. You're not forcing yourself to work hard. Working hard becomes natural. That transformation happens quietly through repetition and persistence. And that's why consistency is so powerful. It reshapes the mind and body to align with your vision. It makes greatness inevitable. You can have big goals, big dreams, and big plans, but without consistency, they're just wishes. Goals need daily effort to stay alive. Every step you take, no matter how small, adds up. One workout won't make you fit. One day of learning won't make you wise. But 1,000 consistent days will change everything. The process may be slow, but quitting won't speed it up. So, no matter how far you have to go, no matter how many setbacks you face, the key is to stay consistent. Because in the end, mastery doesn't belong to the fastest, the strongest, or the most talented. It belongs to the most consistent. Discipline is doing what's necessary, not what's easy, because true success demands sacrifice, structure, and strength of will. The path to greatness isn't paved with comfort or convenience. It's built through the moments when you choose effort over ease and responsibility over relaxation. Discipline is the quiet force that drives action when motivation disappears. It's the voice that says, "Do it anyway," when every part of you wants to quit. Most people wait to feel ready before they act, but those who understand discipline know that waiting for the perfect moment is just another form of procrastination. The truth is, discipline doesn't wait for feelings. It acts despite them. Every goal, every dream, every vision you hold requires discipline to turn it into reality. It's not about working hard once or giving effort for a few days. It's about committing to the process, no matter how long it takes. Discipline is waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's saying no to distractions when the world is begging for your attention. It's staying loyal to your plan even when progress feels invisible. That's where most people fall short. They confuse motivation for discipline. Motivation may ignite the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. Discipline doesn't ask if you feel like it asks if you're willing to honor your commitments. The disciplined person understands that comfort is the enemy of growth. The easy path offers short-term pleasure but long-term regret. The difficult path demands effort but delivers fulfillment. Discipline teaches you to embrace discomfort as part of your evolution. When you choose what's necessary instead of what's easy, you build resilience, and resilience builds greatness. Every time you resist temptation, every time you show up when you could have stayed home, you strengthen your inner foundation. The reward of discipline is not just achievement, but self-respect. You begin to trust yourself deeply because you've proven that your actions aren't controlled by emotions or excuses. They're driven by purpose. There's a reason why discipline is often described as freedom. It frees you from chaos, inconsistency, and regret. When you live with discipline, you don't need to rely on luck or chance. You know that your habits will carry you when your motivation fades. You become predictable in your effort. And that predictability is what leads to consistent results. Discipline turns your vision into something tangible. It's what keeps you writing when no one's reading, practicing when no one's watching, and learning when no one's grading. It's the backbone of every success story, the ingredient that turns dreams into legacies. Doing what's necessary will often feel uncomfortable. It will test your patience, your endurance, and your willpower. But that discomfort is not punishment. It's preparation. Each act of discipline strengthens your ability to face life challenges with courage and clarity. The truth is, easy choices make life hard, and hard choices make life easy. When you choose the necessary path, you may struggle today, but you build strength for tomorrow. The person who does what's easy may enjoy temporary comfort, but the person who does what's necessary earns permanent growth. Discipline is the difference between wishing for success and working for it. It's not a trait you're born with. It's a decision you make every day. And when you learn to choose what's necessary over what's easy, you stop being controlled by circumstance. You start creating your destiny. Mindset controls the mission because everything begins in the mind before it ever manifests in reality. The way you think determines how you act, and how you act determines what you achieve. Every goal, every accomplishment, every transformation first existed as a thought, a belief that it was possible. The strongest warriors, the greatest leaders, the most successful people all share one thing in common. They mastered their mindset before they mastered their craft. They understand that the real battle is not external but internal. The world can doubt you, but if your mind believes, you are already halfway there. The world can cheer for you, but if your mind is weak, you will still fail. The direction of your life follows the direction of your thoughts. Your mindset shapes how you interpret challenges. Two people can face the same obstacle, yet one sees a wall while the other sees a ladder. The difference isn't the situation, it's the mindset. A fixed mindset gives up when things get tough, but a growth mindset looks for lessons in the struggle. When you believe that your abilities can improve through effort, you start viewing failure as feedback, not as finality. The mind is the lens through which you experience life. If that lens is clouded by doubt, fear, or negativity, everything you see will appear limited. But when your lens is focused on possibility, on purpose, and on progress, you start to see opportunities even in adversity. That shift in thinking changes everything. The power of mindset lies in its ability to influence emotion, action, and outcome. A strong mind keeps you steady when the world becomes chaotic. It reminds you of who you are and why you started. It silences the noise of doubt and amplifies the voice of determination. Mindset is what allows you to keep going when logic says to stop. It's what fuels the late nights, the early mornings, and the moments of silence where only belief keeps you moving. Every successful person has faced fear, failure, and fatigue, but their mindset refused to let those things define them. They chose to see purpose in pain and growth in challenge. Controlling your mindset means taking responsibility for your thoughts. It's choosing to feed your mind with positivity, knowledge, and vision instead of negativity and excuses. The mind can either be your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness, depending on what you feed it. If you constantly tell yourself you can't, your actions will obey that belief. But if you train your mind to say, I can, I will, and I must, your body will follow. Discipline may push you forward, but mindset decides the direction. You can have the perfect plan, but without the right mindset, the plan won't matter. Because when your mindset is weak, even small obstacles feel impossible. But when your mindset is strong, even the impossible feels within reach. Every mission begins and ends in the mind. The vision, the drive, the courage. It all starts there. The world's tough. You cannot achieve externally what you haven't first believed internally. That's why mindset is not something you work on once. It's something you train daily. It's built through reflection, resilience, and repetition. The mind must be conditioned for clarity, confidence, and conviction. Because once your mindset aligns with your mission, there's no force strong enough to stop you. Your thoughts create your reality, and your belief shapes your future. So when your mindset is focused, disciplined, and unshakable, your mission becomes unstoppable. Motivation fades, but habits stay because motivation is temporary, while habits are permanent. Motivation is that spark of energy that gets you started, but it's not meant to last forever. It comes and goes like the weather. Some days you feel unstoppable, and other days you don't even want to move. That's human nature. The problem is that too many people rely on motivation to take action, thinking they need to feel ready before they begin. But the truth is, success doesn't wait for your feelings. The people who win in life are the ones who keep going long after the motivation is gone. They build habits strong enough to carry them through the days when their emotions can't. Habits are what remain when inspiration fades. They're the automatic actions that define who you are. The moment something becomes a habit, it no longer depends on willpower. You don't need to convince yourself to brush your teeth every morning. You just do it. In the same way, once discipline becomes a habit, progress becomes effortless. The key is to replace emotional decisions with consistent routines. When you repeat the right actions long enough, they become part of your identity. You're no longer someone trying to work hard. You become a hard worker. You're not someone forcing yourself to stay focused. Focus becomes your natural state. That's the power of habit. Motivation may give you a reason to start, but habits give you the ability to finish. Most people fail not because they don't want success, but because they only work when they feel motivated. Motivation is a wave. It rises high but eventually crashes. Habits, however, are like the tide, steady, constant, and always returning. When you rely on habits, you eliminate the uncertainty of emotion. You don't need to feel inspired to take action. You act because it's what you do, regardless of how you feel. That consistency creates momentum, and momentum builds mastery. Every time you follow through, even when you don't want to, you strengthen your identity and your discipline. The strongest individuals are not those who are always motivated. They are those who have trained themselves to take action without needing motivation. They understand that feelings are fleeting, but systems are stable. They create daily structures that keep them aligned with their goals. Whether it's waking up early, studying, training, or working toward a vision, they've built routines that make success automatic. The habit of consistency becomes their anchor. While others stop when it gets hard, they keep moving because their behavior is no longer controlled by mood, but by commitment. The beauty of habits is that they compound over time. One disciplined decision may seem small, but repeated daily, it reshapes your entire future. Motivation might get you to the gym once, but habit keeps you coming back. Motivation might make you start a business, but habit keeps you building it through setbacks and struggles. The real transformation happens when your actions no longer require mental effort. When the things that once required discipline become part of who you are, that's when success becomes inevitable. So, when motivation fades, and it always will, habits will be what sustain you. They'll guide your actions when your energy is low, your faith is tested, and your excitement is gone. Because in the end, motivation is a feeling, but habits are a lifestyle. You can't always control your emotions, but you can control your habits. And when your habits are aligned with your goals, They'll carry you further than motivation ever could. Habits turn ordinary people into extraordinary achievers because they replace emotion with commitment and inconsistency with purpose. Motivation may start the fire, but habits keep it burning long after the spark is gone. Focus is the filter of success because in a world full of distractions, only those who can direct their attention toward what truly matters achieve anything meaningful. Focus determines where your energy flows, and where your energy flows, results follow. You can have talent, ambition, and potential, but if your attention is scattered, your progress will always be limited. Success doesn't belong to those who do the most. It belongs to those who do what matters most with precision and persistence. Focus acts as a filter that separates the noise from the necessity, the urgent from the important, and the temporary from the timeless. Every great achievement begins with the decision to eliminate distractions. Focus isn't just about doing more work. It's about doing the right work. The modern world constantly competes for your attention. Notifications, opinions, and temptations are always pulling you in 100 directions. But the mind that learns to filter out the unnecessary gains a superpower. When you focus deeply on one task, one vision, or one goal, you give yourself the ability to create something extraordinary. The reason many people fail isn't because they lack ability. It's because they lack focus. They spread their energy across too many things, never going deep enough to see real growth. Focus creates clarity. When your mind is clear about your mission, your actions become intentional. You stop reacting to everything and start responding with purpose. It's not about being busy, it's about being effective. True focus means you stop chasing every new opportunity that appears shiny and start committing to the path that aligns with your long-term vision. This level of focus requires discipline. The discipline to say no when distractions look appealing. The discipline to stay patient when results take time. And the discipline to keep your eyes on the goal, even when the road gets hard. The ability to focus through chaos is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who merely talk about it. When you focus, you amplify your efforts. The mind works like a magnifying glass. When scattered, it burns nothing, but when directed, it can ignite fire. Every hour spent in deep focus is worth 10 spent in distraction. Focus allows you to enter a flow state where time fades, and all that exists is the work in front of you. In that state, your productivity, creativity, and performance rise beyond what you thought possible. Focus turns average effort into powerful execution. It's not that successful people have more time. It's that they use their time differently. They guard it. They protect it. They treat their focus as their most valuable asset because they know it is. The truth is, focus requires sacrifice. You can't focus on everything and expect to be great at anything. You must choose your priorities and commit to them fully. Success demands narrowing your vision and giving your best to fewer things that matter deeply. The moment you try to please everyone or do everything, you lose yourself in the noise. Focus helps you align your thoughts, your energy, and your actions toward one clear destination. It keeps you grounded when distractions try to derail you. It reminds you that not everything deserves your attention, and not every battle is worth fighting. In the end, focus is what turns goals into achievements. It's the difference between movement and progress, between being active and being effective. Focus trains the mind to ignore what doesn't serve your purpose and to give full energy to what does. When you learn to filter the noise, you create space for clarity, depth, and excellence. The world rewards those who can master this art, because while everyone else is chasing everything, the focused individual is mastering one thing, and mastery always leads to success.